I'm going to show you the bow holder that I use now. It keeps your bow handy, yet out of the way, and it just takes a very minimal movement to be ready for the shot. It's a little piece of 1/4 inch 20 all thread, 5 to 6 inches long with a couple of nuts. Take some electrical tape and wrap it on the end. You want to build it up a little bit so there's a little bit of a ledge there so your bow won't slip off, and then just take it and cover the all thread so that it protects your bow against the all thread. Take in the armrest of your tree stand, just drill a hole and waller it just a little bit so that the all thread will slip in there real easy. It doesn't take very long to set it up and be ready to hunt. And there you go. Most of the risers on the newer bows have holes in them. So you just find a hole where your bow will hang good and put it on there. Now you can bump it, move it around a little bit. It's not going to fall off because of the little lip that you made on the tape. When you see a deer, you're sitting here comfy, it's completely out of your way. You see a deer, reach down, raise up just a little bit, it slides off, and you're ready for the shot. Very little movement. When I'm out scouting in the woods, I see a lot of deer stands. And one thing that I see, a mistake that I see, is most of the stands that I see, they have their feed directly in front of the stand. Let me show you. It's not easy to draw directly in front of the stand. So what you want to do is you want to position your stand so that it's 45 to 60 degrees away from your feed, so that you're sitting here, your feet is down here in a position where when the deer comes in, you can just take your bow and draw. That's much easier than trying to draw directly in front of your stand. I want to be settled into my tree 30 minutes before it gets daylight in the morning. If I bump a deer going in, it probably wouldn't be around when it gets light enough to shoot anyway. Now on evening hunts, I want to be settled into my tree 2 hours before I've been seeing movement at that stand. When you get settled into your stand, wiggle around a little bit to make sure it's not going to make any noise when you move. Draw your bow, aim at in the direction that you're going to be shooting. Make sure that there's no clothing or anything that would interfere with your shot. I'd be very reluctant to hunt a stand that somebody else had put up because I wouldn't have any idea how many times a hunter had been busted in it. So it's better to hang your own stands. I always have one arrow with a field tip on it in my quiver, and before I get down from my tree, I'll shoot a leaf or a limb or something in one of my shooting lanes. Now this gives me just a little bit of practice for my tree all along during the season. Plus, if there's a deer around close, hopefully it'll spook it off and it won't see me climbing down out of my tree. When you decide to shoot a deer, don't rush the shot, but take the first good shot that you get, because there's lots of things that can happen to spook your deer. The wind can swirl, another deer can come in behind you. I was hunting one evening, it was perfectly dead still. I needed the deer to come on in about another 10 feet to give me a shot. And there was a limb the size of my leg, just for no reason, fell out of a tree in front of me. Game over. So take the first good shot that you get. When you hear a deer coming in, try not to move because you have no idea where that deer is looking. If you just have to move, then move very slowly. And by very slowly, I mean like this. Even then, if they're looking at you, they can bust you. Never go hunting with an arrow that you haven't shot a few times. This last season, I've been shooting arrows, the same arrows for 5 years and never had any trouble with any of them. This last season, I put a broadhead on a new arrow and went hunting with it. When I shot that arrow, one of the vanes stripped half off. My arrow corkscrewed, and I got a bad hit on that buck. So before you go into the woods, if you've changed anything, if you changed your nocks out for lighted nocks, if you changed your broadheads, anything that you changed, you need to test that and make sure that it's still hitting where you want it to hit. During the rut, I try to do as many all-day hunts as I can because you never know what time those deer are going to be moving. And also, if you're in a good funnel area, you may get a chance at a big buck from another area that maybe only passes through once or twice a year. One thing I want to leave you with, when I go out and I don't see anything, I just figure I'm paying my dues because I know if I keep doing all the right things, it's just a matter of time before I put a deer in the back of my truck.